On in. Good morning, Facebook. How are you doing? Good to see you. So today we are going to talk about one ingredient. I was talking to a friend this weekend, talking to somebody this weekend. She uses a CGM and it skyrocketed her sugars like for over 6 hours. And I'm going to talk to you about what that is. So hang tight for just a second because not all things are created equal. Oh, let me put this on my phone. You guys don't have my microphone on you. Hold on just a second, Instagram. Okay, so how was your weekend? I would love to know. Love to know. I'm in Minnesota. My name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I was raised by a type 2 insulin-dependent dad who died of type 2 diabetes at 63. Sorry, didn't mean to make you like nauseous over there, Instagram. And I remember like it was yesterday. I actually remember the outfit that I was wearing. Standing in my yard, we had 20 acres of a hobby farm. That's how we raised our kids. Super grateful. And I was standing in the yard. I know the outfit I was wearing, and a thought came to me. And remember, thoughts are just flyovers. Don't forget this. Please don't forget this. Just because a thought flies over your head doesn't mean you need to let it land. Doesn't mean you need to entertain it. But I didn't know that. Like I didn't know anything. So this thought comes to me, and I'm about 37 years old. I'm 60 now. I'm about 37. And I'm like, I wonder if I'm supposed to just embrace this life of obesity. I wonder if I'm just going to be type 2 anyway. It doesn't really matter because I'm Italian and everybody's type 2 and everybody's obese. And like, why wouldn't I think that that's just going to be my lot in life also? Like, I don't have really anything to do about it. It's just, que sera, it's going to happen. And I was right around 37. So if you know of somebody that's right around that age, like going up into their 40s and they're heading towards perimenopause, share this out. At the very least, like hit like or do something so that you know how to come back because things get lost in translation. We're very busy. We have a lot of information coming at us. But that's where I was. And just as fast as that thought came to me, totally sugar addicted, totally like eating everything white, sleeping in the living room as I'm raising my kids. Like I'm so tired because I'm so messed up metabolically already. Gestational when I was 22 with my first baby. I mean, I had it all, did it all, blah, 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 blah. I could go on and on and on. And that thought came to me at the height of my everything. And as soon as it came, I went, no, I'm not going to do that. But then literally that was the end of the sentence. That's as far as my paragraph went. My paragraph just went, no. And then I went on with my life and went and probably drank some more International Delight hazelnut creamer and, had some pasta and bread. I mean, I'm serious. I'm like totally serious. And I didn't really do anything for about another decade. Can you imagine? Another decade, right? So do not feel bad if you also haven't, but let's dive into today's topic because I think that we're just really uneducated. Lots of people have asked me about whether or not having a continuous glucose monitor is a really good idea. And I've said, at first I was like, I don't know if you have to focus on that. And then I kind of went to, oh, you know what? I actually feel like if I would have had that, that would have helped me a ton. I even still entertain it to this day, but I was with a friend this weekend and she decided to get one. And she is type 2. And she said, I actually had no idea. When you have a little cheat here and a little cheat there, and you think it's all created equal, it's not so. So she said, do you have any idea what I ate that spiked my sugars for over 6 hours? She goes, I was having such a hard time figuring this out. Why are my sugars being so erratic? Why am I not able to be so stable? Like I'm talking to my doctor about it. We're trying to figure it out. I get the CGM. That's a whole nother conversation about insurance not covering stuff, blah, blah, blah. You have to be your own advocate. Just put that in your hat. Okay. So she gets the CGM and she's like, OMG, it's high fructose corn syrup. So not just any sugar, very specifically high fructose corn syrup. They're all bad. Don't get me wrong. We're going to go through them. But she said that was evil. Evil. And do you know what it was in? A piece of licorice. I mean, y'all, if you do not become label readers, I don't even know how to help people. I don't know how to help you if you don't read labels. She was shocked. I was shocked too. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Patty. So, Miss Terry, let's start out with her testimony today. Oh, I was going to take a picture of it, Terry. Doggone it. I should have done that. Terry is the lowest weight that she has been in 30 years. 30 years. She's been doing this program for a little over a year now, I do believe. She's lost at least 45 pounds, more than that now. 62 years old. Like, you guys, it's never too late. You can do this. 30 years. And that is the combination of, she's been using, she started out with just food. So remember when I tell you that I have that free blueprint, you can grab the free blueprint. She started out with food, but then she did add in the total body reset, which have the 3 pillars to it. And I talk about that all the time on here, you guys. You can even see highlight bubbles at the top of my Instagram page if you want to do that. But point being that's what she's been doing for over a year. And now she's the lowest weight she's been in 30 years. And she's feeling so good. And I'm so excited. It just brings me so much joy. Okay. Kim, just found you and excited about what you have to share. Kim, so good to see you. I'm so glad. Yay, yay, yay. Everybody jump in, jump in, jump in. We have been doing this for a little over about a year and a half, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then we have other things to help you. Like, I've got so many things to make this a path and a program that works for you. But anyway, and it all comes out of my own story. So back to her licorice. OMG, OMG, you guys, seriously. So let's just kind of talk about this. So most people use the glycemic index to judge sugar. Okay. I've never liked it. I feel like it's very flawed. I haven't like scientifically studied it deeply. I just have always been like, that's not telling you, that's just telling you how fast your sugars will spike. It's not really telling you how high. Like, so basically it's telling you if something is spiking fast, but the point is that it could be spiking slow, but it's still getting to the same point. And I never liked that. But anyway, so jump on in. Good to see you guys. Thank you for all the likes on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Please share the content if you find this valuable. Everybody's got a friend. Everybody knows somebody. 1 in 3 teens are pre-diabetic. Like, we could be sharing this to everybody on the face of the planet. So it only measures how quickly glucose hits the bloodstream over 2 hours. It doesn't measure how long insulin stays elevated. Do you understand the difference when I say that? Your glucose, your blood, the sugar in your blood, okay, fine. They actually wait until that rises before they talk to you about it, because they're never pulling a fasting insulin test over here. They should have been doing this years and decades earlier, and they don't. They don't. So if you feel like you're not being heard, if you feel like you've been knowing something's going on in your body and you can't quite figure it out, this is why. Because insulin is a hormone that regulates getting the energy, sugar that you eat. It turns into sugar, whether it's sugar or not sugar, whether it's sugar or a potato, because your body wants energy. Like, this is a normal process, but we've just overdone it. So your insulin stays really high. So it only measures how quickly your glucose hits your bloodstream over 2 hours. It doesn't measure how long insulin stays elevated or how much your liver suffers. So do I or do I not talk about the liver all day, every day? It's a major part of the total body reset. It's a part of the trio, which is in the total body reset. It's a part of supplementation that I talk about all the time. Liver, gut, insulin, liver, gut, insulin. You have to combat your own trifecta in order to get the results that you want. Because if your liver is tired and toxic, you won't burn fat. And if your insulin is high, you won't burn fat. Okay, let's keep going. So high fructose corn syrup is in freaking everything. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that it's in so that you can start becoming a label reader, and you can become as like amazed at the just I want to say the word is criminal, but that's not fair. That's not a fair assessment. But at the obnoxious use of something that is so wicked in our bodies, okay? So it doesn't spike your sugar immediately because it's mostly fructose. You have to understand the difference between fructose and glucose. You have to understand fructose can only be metabolized by your liver. Why the heck do you think you have fatty liver? Anyway, it's one major piece. But that fructose goes straight into the liver where it becomes belly fat and blocks fat burning. So I'm going to talk to you about your liver. And I'm going to talk to you about eating sugar-free, grain-free, legume-free. Let's stop the freaking cycle, okay? You have to stop living on your edges, on your fringes, okay? So the damage is happening even if your glucose monitor isn't showing anything right away, but it is over time. So it's not just about the number, it's about the duration. Okay. So high glucose for 6 hours, that equals 6 hours of fat storage and not fat burning. This is why it's like, it is actually easier to become streamlined in your thought process about food than it is to try to live on the fringes. It's so much easier. You don't know it because maybe you haven't been successful at it yet because you've kind of self-sabotaged or whatever. That was me for like my entire, like from 20 to 50. And then it took me a few years to figure out my own ingredients. So don't feel bad. It's just the way that it is. But your insulin stays elevated and your energy tanks, you're exhausted, you're fatigued, and your hormones get disrupted. Insulin is a hormone. Remember that, okay? So even natural sugars like honey and agave can do this when your system is already inflamed. Now, what's hard on this is that, Patty, love your liver. That's right. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. Love your liver. What's frustrating is that I brought this up last week and I said, I saw this, it was a recommended morning news program segment where they basically said, it's on Facebook. 10 out of 10, I did not follow, but because I don't watch any morning news propaganda. I mean, it's just, they tell us the dumbest stuff. But anyway, erythritol causes brain cancer, this doctor says, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is just BS. And again, it's another way for people to like then go, literally thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. And I'm not joking. Well, then I should probably, I'm type 2, but I'm just going to eat sugar anyway then. Do you understand? Do you understand what happens when they come out and they give you BS science that has no backing to it? If you really do want to know about erythritol, go to YouTube, Maria Emmerich, Emmerich, and look up her YouTube video, and it's just called erythritol. 11 minutes of your life. You're welcome. So basically, but the truth is that even if you're like, I'm going to sneak a treat, I'm at the wedding, I'm going to have the cake, I'm at the whatever, know the difference between the sugars that you're eating. Okay. So let's get into that piece of the puzzle. So high fructose corn syrup is the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. And it is in freaking everything. So you think you're just sneaking a piece of licorice like she did. And what she was sneaking was fat burning turned off, insulin high and sugars high for over 6 freaking hours. That's what she was doing as a type 2 diabetic. Okay. But until she had a CGM, she didn't know that that was the consequence. That was the price she was going to pay. Now she knows. All right. So high fructose corn syrup is all fructose. Has to go straight through the liver. Cannot just go into your bloodstream. This is why we've got issues, FYI, and I'll give you both food and supplementation that you can use to deal with the damage, okay? Fructose goes into the liver, which equals fat storage. It stays elevated longer and you have hidden damage. Agave syrup, let's just move to that because do you remember, maybe they still do it, I don't pay attention, low glycemic index. You guys, come on, BS. No, it's not even true. It's 85% fructose. So even though it might not spike it right away, what's happening is it's giving it a slow burn, but it is still spiking and it has to go through the liver. And according to the chart that I'm looking at, it's even worse for your liver than high fructose corn syrup. Marketing, 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 because they don't care about your liver. They don't care. They're going to sell you a product and it's natural. Corn syrup is natural. Everything's natural. You guys, it's so bad. Next one, cane sugar. Cane sugar is actually half glucose, half fructose. Okay, so we're getting a little better, but not completely. It spikes your blood sugar and still puts a burden on your liver. Corn syrup, this is interesting. Now you have to understand the difference. Corn syrup, like regular Karo corn syrup, is actually pure glucose. So that means it spikes your sugar fast, like bam, but it goes straight into your bloodstream. That's why it's spiking fast. But it's not going through your liver. I'm just telling you stuff. If you're going to eat dates, you're like, well, I'm going to eat natural sugars. That was me. I had the Medjool dates. I had packages of them because I'm eating healthy. I lied to myself for so long. Dates, they're natural, but they are very, very high in sugar. And I love me a date. I love dates. They're so good. They're so caramely. Oh, they're so good. But it has a big, big blood sugar spike. Okay. And then honey, it's natural, but still it's 40% fructose. So it delays that blood sugar crash. And I'm not telling somebody who's not insulin resistant that honey is bad. I'm not telling you that God made bad food. The normal people that are not insulin resistant, you're not my person. You're not on my content. You're not watching me because you don't have these issues. So I'm talking to the person who is already insulin resistant on any level. I don't know how big your ship is to turn around, but I'm talking to you. And that's when I'm saying, okay, I understand God made honey and honey is supposed to be good for us, but not when you're insulin resistant. So stop lying to yourself, thinking that you're eating healthy according to whatever healthy is in the marketplace. I'm just telling you like your best friend. Okay. Sneaky everyday sources of high fructose corn syrup. Let's put it like a face to this. Okay. Let's help you put a face to this. Tell me in the comments if any of these are the things that you sneak a treat with. Any of these. Because like I said, hers was licorice. Shocking that it had high fructose corn syrup in it. Become a label reader. Okay, so number one, licorice, gummy candy, and fruit chews. Licorice, gummy candies, and fruit chews. Linda says Coke is putting out a sugarcane option. They are, but it's still half fructose. But yes, they are. It is better than high fructose corn syrup. Good morning, Tina. Good to see you. You're getting mail from me this week. Okay, so number two, juice boxes and 100% fruit juice. Pay attention, okay? Because it's what we're doing with our grandbabies, right? Or maybe it's you and your children, because maybe you're younger. Maybe you're in your early 40s and you're watching. Breads and hamburger buns. Yes, even whole wheat. Okay, so maybe you're sneaking something with a bun. Flavored yogurts and pudding cups. Granola bars and cereals. You guys, this literally is the standard American diet. Do you understand what they've done to us? Soft drinks, sports drinks, energy drinks. No bueno. Barbecue sauce. Oh, that's a big one. Literally the first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. Bad. Barbecue sauce, ketchup, marinades, and fast food dips. Look at Chick-fil-A sauce. Packaged baked goods like snack cakes and muffins, glazed meats and flavored bacon, fruit snacks, and sweetened dried fruit mixes. You think you're cutting back on sugar, but if you're eating any of these, you are feeding the problem. So let's just say that you are at a wedding. Oops, hold on just a second. Oh, I wanted to see that information. Uno momento, por favor. I had something about wedding cake here. So cake is glucose-based. You'll spike and crash, but at least you'll know it's coming. As opposed to the ice cream that is being served with the cake. I want you to go to your local grocery store and start looking at all of the ice creams. Look at all of the vanilla ice creams. Even though you're probably not purchasing, you're probably really, really good. And you do not purchase sugar ice cream. But last night Saturday, we went out on my sister's boat on Saturday. It was amazing. So much fun. And then that's like, lake life in Minnesota, very normal. And then afterwards, we went out to my daughter's house and we did a bonfire. And so on our way out there, my husband's like, well, we should get some s'more fixings. And how about we get root beer floats? I said, okay. And so for myself, I bought a Lily's bar, salted caramel, still not perfect ingredients, but that's okay. And I was looking at ice cream and I'm just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I just couldn't find anything that did not have corn syrup in it or high fructose corn syrup. It was crazy, crazy. And do you understand? It's because it's cheap, 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 cheap. That's what happens. So the ice cream with the high fructose corn syrup is the invisible hit. If you're eating the piece of wedding cake with ice cream, it won't show up in your sugar right away, but it hurts the liver and it keeps your fat locked in. And you're like, why can't I lose weight? Why can't I burn fat? I eat 80% healthy. I eat 80% good. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. I hate to tell you. I wish it was different. But the problem is that Cake is putting out a cane sugar option. Oh, Coca, yeah, baby. What about the unsweetened ketchup? Cindy, I'm just kidding. Says sugar-free ketchup, sugar-free barbecue sauce, etc. Okay, so that's a really good question. Good afternoon, Marie. Good to see you. Okay, Heinz actually has a decent ketchup that says no sugar added and it's sweetened with stevia. That's actually a really good option. There are options that aren't so great. No question. You have to be a label reader. You might pick up like G. Hughes, like the letter G and then Hughes, Hughes. He has a line of sugar-free sauces, but there are a lot of seed oils in them. Linda asks, is there a good option for ice cream? So I'd have to go back and double check the ingredients. However, I think that Rebel, Rebel, comes in little pints. Aldi has a keto ice cream. Check those ingredients. There are a couple, not many. Not Carb Smart, not because they throw so much crap in there. Otherwise, like I have behind me, I have a Ninja. You can see it on my Facebook. I have a Ninja Creamy. It's actually on my website in the Amazon picks, because that is actually for me the best way to do it. I have vanilla protein powder that's been mixed. It's sweetened with stevia, super clean. And I use that with some unsweetened almond milk, some half and half. I just don't want so much, like that's just me, whatever. And then I can spruce it up from there and I can make my own ice cream, and it's high protein. I know how I'm sweetening it. Oftentimes I'm sweetening it with allulose. Allulose will make it more soft serve. And then I also maybe boost the sweetness with some liquid stevia. But then I can add in things. I can make it vanilla, and you can even make it more vanilla if you want to. Like I'll use, because I have a bigger container for my Ninja Creamy, so I'll use 2 scoops of protein. But then you can add in, like you could take the unsweetened chocolate from Walmart that I talk about, the Great Value unsweetened chocolate baking bar in the baking aisle. It's actually a chocolate liqueur. And you could like chop that up into tiny little pieces. And then with a Ninja Creamy, you mix up your ice cream, and then you can put in a bunch of chocolate on top and hit add in, and it just kind of swirls it into the ice cream. I'm just telling you, actually doing it yourself is the best way to do it because you can control all the ingredients, but there are a couple out there, but maybe those are the only 2 that I know of off the top of my head. It would be Aldi's Keto and Rebel, and then look at the ingredients because it's been a while since I've ever done that because I keep using my own Ninja Creamy. So that's a good question. So when it comes to then like undoing what we're talking about, and you guys, it's just no hype. There's just no hype in this. She sat down with me and she said, what I've come to realize is that it's all about the liver. I'm like, yes, it's all about the liver. So, I know that most of you do not understand because I didn't understand. I was shocked when I heard that if your liver is tired and toxic, you can't burn fat. I'm like, what are we even talking about? What happened to counting points and calories in, calories out, blah, blah, blah. And the more research that I've done, and that's why it's like sometimes I feel like I'm, it's hard to get information across because we're so bombarded on the other side. And we're literally feeding our children snacks all day long that have high fructose corn syrup in them all day long, like all day long. And we have 1 in 3 teenagers that are pre-diabetic, sorry. And we have fatty liver in our children. And this is why. Okay. So you just have to understand. So I'm going to always come at you with supplementation that is very specific for your insulin, your liver, and your gut. Now, Terry saying that she's her lowest weight in 30 years. She's 62. She was doing the total body reset. I'll show you exactly what that is. And then I'm going to show you a reset stack. So the difference between full hair color and maybe just touching up your roots. Okay. So is it okay if I give you those 2 little options today? Is that okay? I'm just going to do that and make it really easy. Make sure I didn't miss something. I thought I missed something over there. All right, so here we go. So the total body reset, you guys. Thank you for liking. I so appreciate you, Allie. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so I always talk about these because I don't know how else to help everybody. I do have it's a free protein blueprint. It helps you to get rid of your bloating and burn your fat, etc. And it's a protein blueprint with a protein formula in it. It's totally free. It's at the top of my website. That's step 1 of 2 steps. And you can do them in either order. Terry started with food and then she added in the supplements. A lot of people start with the supplements and then they change out their foods. That's what I did because I wasn't willing to change out my foods right away when I started this. So this is how this goes for the total body reset. And then I'll pluck out of this and show you just what the reset stack is. Okay, so full color. Do you guys color your roots? I just started doing my own roots at home. I'm really proud of myself. I used to color my hair in the 90s, and I actually liked it. And anyway, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Okay, so full color. Here we go. All right, the whole bottle, the whole enchilada. You're going to Sally's and you're buying it all. Okay. The trio, these are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is where I started. This is what supported me in losing 3 sizes in my 50s. Okay. Because it is targeting not just your liver, but your insulin. When insulin is high, you can't burn fat. You have to deal with your insulin. Okay. So liver, insulin, sugars, metabolism, all in one fell swoop. That's the trio. Then she added in the gut primer. This is the powder, the green powder, and a probiotic. Okay, this is the gut reset protocol. This is a scoop that I put in a small amount of cold water with a frother. I take it like a wellness shot, just like you buy a shot at a store. I do not sip on it. It tastes kind of like tea. It has a turmeric-y, gingery like aftertaste. I actually like the freshness of the ginger because I also loved sushi. I was a sushi fanatic. I don't eat sushi anymore, but I love that fresh ginger. So anyway, this does not taste like a chocolate malt, but the results are phenomenal. You could be on one side and have diarrhea all the time with leaky gut, like one of my customers, or you could have constipation all the time, like I have with many of my customers, or anything in between, leaky gut and indigestion, and you had your gallbladder removed. 1 scoop every single morning. Take it like a wellness shot, okay? And then the probiotic that you put powder on your tongue, 5 live strains. And you're doing that because you have to repopulate your microbiome with good bacteria. Like your body is trying really hard to work with what it's got. Like help it. help your body. That's what these two are. That's the gut reset. So that's the second pillar. This is the first one. This is the second one. Are you following? Okay. The third one is the fat burner. Now this, you guys, the reason why this is so freaking important is because it actually targets visceral fat. You must know that, like, I'm not going to make any claims. So I'm going to be very careful with my words. Okay. Because I need to be. But we just talked about how high fructose corn syrup, and listen, we have all been ingesting high fructose corn syrup all over the freaking place. Whether you are a soda drinker or you were a soda drinker, like a Mountain Dew or a Dr. Pepper all the time, Coke, whatever, high fructose corn syrup. My friend, licorice. Maybe you're somebody who, you're sneaking treats, however, or you just recently got off of bread, but all that bread that you've been eating for the last 40 years, high fructose corn syrup. Like, just become a label reader. And remember what we said, or what we just learned? We learned that fructose can only be metabolized through the liver. So your liver, that is, when you have visceral fat being created around your organs and in your liver, you want help. Okay. I'm just going to put it that way. I'm not going to make it dire or anything like that. I'm just going to say, if you want to burn more fat and you want to actually see inches lose inches disappear, like, this is for real. These are texts that you send me. These aren't just like made up stats. These are things from you guys. This is the fat burner. Okay. So 1 pixie stick, it tastes like orange candy. You put it on your tongue every day for 90 days. Okay. It doesn't matter when you do it. If you do work out, take it before you work out. It's created for sports, like a sports nutrition line. It's meant for a pre-workout, but you don't have to, and you don't get a buzz or anything weird. There's nothing like that. But she's been doing this whole thing for about a year. And this one, you go 90 days on and then 30 days off. But this is the total body reset. Now I'm going to tell you what the reset stack is. Okay. So now let's talk about just your roots. You're like, I don't want to do the full color right now. I just want to do my roots. Okay. That's fine. You can do that. And I'm going to tell you what I've done is I'm targeting the liver the most and the gut. Okay. So if you ever go to my site, it's kirstenliebelt.com, my first last name.com, KirstenLiebelt.com. Go to my site. It's right on the screen for the people on Facebook and YouTube. But anyway, this is what it looks like. It has my face right there. Right here is that free blueprint, you guys. And I'm just telling you what that will do is give you the protein formula so that you know the protein that you're choosing, whether it's a good lean protein because you're in fat burning stage, or whether it's a fat forward protein. Okay. Simple little formula. But then you're going to get a chart of different proteins. And it's so helpful because when you know how much protein to eat and you feel that overwhelm of, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much protein. And you realize, like, I'm supposed to have 135 grams of protein a day. How am I ever going to do that? And then you realize, like, a chicken breast is 48. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I can figure this out. I'm just telling you, like, it helps a ton to be able to have a path, right? I'm not going to give you a meal plan that doesn't serve you, but if I can give you the thought process and the formula, it serves you. So right under here, then right there, that first one, that's kind of that tan color. That's the reset stack. What's in the reset stack? This is what's in the reset stack. Only three. Okay. We're going to do the gut primer because liver. We're going to do the visceral fat burner because liver, and you want to lose inches. And also, you want that bloating to go away. You want the inches to go away. And then we're going to do the one out of the trio that is for the liver. That's the reset stack. So you can go and look at that for yourself, or you can message me. I know I'm behind in my DMs right this second. You guys have been amazing. Like, we have been chatting a lot in the back alleyways. And I even have a couple of phone consults with you guys today. And so it's just a way so that you can have understanding, because I am fully convinced that if you understand why you're doing something, you will choose consistency like Terry chose consistency. Had she thought, oh, this is just another, whatever, this is just another marketed to me program, it's not going to probably work anyway, maybe her consistency wouldn't have been there, right? But it kind of feels like you're swimming upstream just a little bit when you don't have bells and whistles and pretty pictures and like bows on top of programs. This is literally just taken from my own experience and study and then given to you, because if you can focus on your liver and your gut, wow, and your insulin. But if you can focus on your liver and your gut, you just don't even know how far this will take you. And then switch out your food ingredients. That's what that protein blueprint is for. So it's only 2 steps. It's very easy as far as understanding just the 2 steps. What's hard is you choosing to create good habits and becoming a slave to a set of good habits instead of becoming a slave to a set of bad habits. That's the hard part, okay? But you can do it. I promise you, you can shift and turn your own tide. I mean, Terry said, I wanted to share this with somebody who would understand. Yeah, I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. Once I started doing this, once I started to understand this concept, and I've kept it off. And that's the biggest part of the story. If you're looking for a way to stop doing this, I really believe with all of my heart, and Terry will have to let me know in a year, I believe with all of my heart, Terry will keep that weight off, because now she understands how to recalibrate her inside engine to make it work. And she knows how to trade out her ingredients and still be a total foodie. So I would like to believe that I've taught her how to fish. Like I taught myself how to fish, lose it, keep it off, not do this. I'm up 30, I'm down 30. I'm up 30, I'm down 30. Nope. I went down the whole way. Now, I did not go down, down, down. I went down, stabilize, down, stabilize. Because I was dealing with my own stuff. I was learning how to create good habits and becoming a slave to good habits instead of sticking with all of my bad habits. And you're going to be no different. You're going to have to do the same thing. However, it did continue to do this. And sometimes it was like this. But over time and consistency, look at what Terry's done. I mean, I'm going to guess 50 pounds. I'm going to guess in a year. Tucking in her shirt, full of energy and life, knows what she's doing, not confused. Just saying, that's a really good feeling. That's a freedom that most of us have never, ever experienced, because we just thought it was all about willpower. And we thought it was all about us being lame losers at dealing with our weight. We're just lame losers, and that's what we tell ourselves, and it's not true. Good morning, Anna, beautiful Anna, Patty. Are you laughing at my roots and my hair? Cheryl, where do I find your website? Please, I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Thanks. You are so welcome. Cheryl, it's actually on the screen. It's my first last name.com. But don't let that stop you from reaching out and contacting me if you have questions, because I want to help you. But the reset stack is right at the top. The blueprint is right at the top. They're both right at the top for you. It says in the spotlight reset stack. That's what you're looking for. So you can start there. If you want the total body reset, like Terry did, it's on that same page. Just do a scroll. Just go choop, and it is there for you. So it's all there. I've left out nothing that I think I don't think I've left out anything. So, but always ask me. I will see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is what my site looks like. Okay. And then if you go down, it looks like it's not right there is the total body. Right there, total body reset. There's even a little video for you to watch that I put together, because again, I'm convinced if you understand why you're doing something, you will stick with it. So if you need anything, let me know today. Otherwise, I'm going to run and get ready for, actually, I've got a lot of stuff going on my schedule today. One of them is a phone consultation this afternoon. One is this evening. And I just am so excited to journey with anybody who is ready right now to journey with. So Terry says, good guess, 49 pounds. I figured I was kind of close. Good guess, she says, 49 pounds. You guys, 49 pounds. And you know what? It doesn't mean you will never have a day in your life where you're like, I'm at that wedding. I'm just going to eat that freaking cake. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you're perfect all the time. It just means that you understand the consequences of what you're doing, or that, you just make better decisions. That's all. That's all. You've got it in you. You really do. All right. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day, you guys.